This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Caitlin's in Washington, D.C. Hi, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Rachel. How you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
So my husband is active duty Air Force. He's been in 17 years, and we're in the last haul here before he retires.
Mm-hmm.
And we were a bit late to the game with investing and all of that. And he has about $50,000 in his 401 or his Roth.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in baby step 3 now. We paused that and got through our baby steps, and we're going to be done with baby step 3 in February.
Good.
My question is,
how old are you?
Thank you. I'm 37. He's 44.
Thanks for your service, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your question's what?
Thank you. The question is, should we stay in order? We're trying to come up with, can we hit 100K in his Roth before he retires? Hit that magic number.
Why?
And in order to do that,
Where's that come from?
I'm not sure if I heard it off of your guys' show or just a financial conversations. Is that you can get $100,000 into your into a retirement fund, because it'll just have to run, won't be able to give any more into it. That'll set us up best for it to grow the fastest for the next, 20 years or so before retirement. Is that
Do you
wrong?
work outside the home?
Not anymore. We have 2 kids. Right now I'm a stay-at-home mom with a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old.
Okay. So when he retires with his 20-year chip, he's going to get the 20-year wonderful military retirement, and he will have some 50 to 100K, somewhere in there, in a TSP Roth, the thrift savings plan that the military offers. Mm-hmm. He can roll that to an individual Roth to be managed by you guys with your SmartVestor Pro at that time. But that's not the end of the story. He's not going to be but 30-something years old. So what's he going to do? And what's the next chapter of his life going to be?
Well, he's 44 right now, so he'll be 47 when he leaves.
Yeah,
but
so he's just he's just a pup. He's just a child.
Yeah.
So what else is he going to do after that?
We're going to use the GI Bill. He wants to go back to school to be a physical therapist.
Okay, so he's going to go. He's going to go be a PT, and I'm going to pay for it as a taxpayer, and I'm honored to get to do that. It's one of the few things my tax dollars go to that make me proud. So. Thank you again. And go be the world's best PT and make $100 a year and load your 401k doing that. And by the way, as long as you have an earned income while he's in school, if he goes and does something, and that's not military retirement, you have to have an earned income. You can do 2 Roth IRAs every year, yours and his. Individual Roths.
So you're saying we should roll his military Roth over into an individual. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and that helps you to manage it better, because the TSP has decent plans. The C plan is okay. The S and the I are sort of okay, and that's what we tell people to put in most of it in the C, because it's basically an S&P index is what it is. So it's going to do pretty well, but you can do better with a SmartVestor Pro picking mutual funds that outperform that once he's out.
Okay.
You can't do it till he's out. Okay. But then you guys just continue to do individual Roths, and in his next chapter, you're going to continue to save. You're going to be fine. If you don't make it to 100K, is my point, you haven't missed the boat on being millionaires.
Yeah. I think that's my big thing, is the money that we would have to put in order to hit the 100K would literally keep us Gazelle intense for the next 4 years.
No. When you get to baby step 4, you need to be intentional, not intense. Intentional can include a level of intensity, but it doesn't mean we don't go on vacation, we don't go out to eat, and we don't have a new couch with a spring sticking through.
And we don't save for the second car that we desperately need.
There we go. Yeah. See, you need to start having a life. That 100K is not that magical.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Caitlin, and actually, Dave, I would be interested in your thoughts on this, because there is a lot in the social media realm with people giving financial advice, or even in podcast, YouTube, all that, where they're like, "Oh, hit millionaire status by this age. Oh, hit 100K in your Roth." I mean, there's these
actual. Is that right? So it's a TikTok thing.
Well, not necessarily, but that is a piece of that's a way people talk about being intentional, is have a number out there, a dollar amount. And what's interesting, Caitlin, or at least for me, that's why I want to get your thoughts on this, Dave. But there's a point where that number can become almost this idol, thinking if we just hit this, my life, everything's going to be okay.
And if we don't hit it, we're not going to make it.
Yeah, and it's a little bit arbitrary. That's why I love the phrase financial peace, right? Like we talk about financial peace because peace can mean all different things, all different numbers for different people, right? Just because you hit $1 million doesn't mean you necessarily have peace if depending on who you are as a person, right? And if anything, you're like scratching to get more. Oh, I don't feel fulfilled now. So now that finish line moves and moves and moves. So there's something more holistic that I want you guys to talk about as a family and not just a number. Because those numbers, they feel empty to me. Like I get like be goal oriented and like shoot for a goal, but have a goal that has like you guys in it, like the character and who you are, what you want for your family. I think there's something there that's more fulfilling. And again, peace maybe to make sure that we can retire and enjoy life. But there's just something, and people do that a lot. And I don't know. Not that it's wrong.
If it's
just feels
artificial
empty to me.
to the point that it drives you, your point, it takes away the couch and the second car and that kind of stuff. It's not right. So because you're still going to get there. We don't want you to retire broke. Okay, we're not teaching that either. But here's the point: if you save 15% of his income, what's he make?
$80K.
Okay. So, let's call it $100K for round numbers, $15K a year for 3 years. That's $45. That's with no growth.
Yeah.
So you're there.
We're about there.
You got 50 now plus 40 something.
Yeah,
it does. You're not that far out, and you're going to get some growth. That C plan probably went up 20% in the last 12 months.
That's fair. Yeah. The numbers have been. It has been looking nice.
Yeah, it's done good. I mean, the S&P, the stock market's done good.
And I see what you mean about the peace thing versus numbers, because I will say, getting on that budget and staying on the every dollar budget. That thing.
But here's the thing: if you run 15% out right now, if you run 15% out now, and it does get you to $100K, and you still get the budget of life in there, then everybody's winning in this. And by the way, go ahead and extrapolate out with a couple years off for PT school, and then kick back in at 80 to 90 to 100K for the remaining working years of his life, the next 20 some odd years or so as a PT, and put 15% of that income away into retirement, meanwhile paying off your house, and you're going to be worth about $8 or $10 million when you get to 67.
Sweet. I'll hold you to that. I'll give you a call back.
Yeah. Well, if you do what I tell you to do, it'll work. I'm telling. I mean, I got millionaires. I got millionaires all over America. They're called Baby Steps Millionaires. They're all over the place because they follow this stuff. And it's not because I'm magic. It's because compound interest is magic. And it's because just steadily investing is the key. Yeah. And it's not 100. Now, the fun thing, Rachel, I didn't know this social media trend, because as you know, I don't do social media.
I think I've heard some of our personnel, even be like, or not try to hit $1 million, but like.
What I like about that is that math is easy. So here's the thing: I don't like the artificial pressure it puts on you that's weird, which is what she was struggling with. But what I do like is this: if you are investing and you're averaging stock market rates of return, you're going to average more than 12%. So let's dumb that down to 10%. If you're making 10% on your money, here's some easy math for you. A lump sum will double every 7 years. So if you're 35 and you have 100,000, he's getting ready to be 40 something. Okay. So he's 45 and he gets $100,000 or whatever the number is. Then you can say then 7 years later, that's going to be 200.
At 52,
And at 52, and at 59, that's going to be 400. And at 66, that's going to be 800.
Without adding anything.
And that's with adding nothing to it. And so we're going to have 1.6 million in our 70s with adding nothing to it. So I kind of like that goal. That's a good reason to reach for 100. Because I want it to turn into that. But I think our 15% rule will get you there faster.
Yes.
And not break the bank.
Yeah, and there's a 15% rule that I like, that it's a habit, and that's so much about winning with money. It's just how you view it and how you use it, and that 15% is a habit versus like, I'm going for the specific number, because I think we can get so, infatuated with like, oh, if I just hit this number by 35, everything, it's all great. It's all great. And then you're like, well, you get there and like, have you really created a life that you love? Like life is more holistic than a number, than a dollar amount.
If I don't hit my weight loss goal by a certain date, my fitness plan is a failure. No, it's not.
Right.
You still lost weight and you still changed your habits.
Yes.
Which is more important than hitting the weight loss goal by a certain date. That's your point.
Amen, Brother Dave.
There we go. Sister Rachel.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. To learn more about investing, visit RamseySolutions.com/investing or click the link in the show notes. Ramsey Solutions is a paid non-client promoter of participating pros. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.